There's no way that Hugh Jackman could be mistaken for just another tourist taking in the glittery lights of Broadway. Somehow the smile is way too broad, the manner way too assured.
My name is Hugh Jackman. I'm the mayor of New York. I think my name's Hugh Jackman. You can be nuts in New York and no one gives a damn.
And the adrenaline way too pumped.
Cats, Sunset, Phantom, The King and I. It's 20 past 8, it's Virgin Records, it's AT&T, it's the Olympics, it's Hertz Records.
If you believe all the hype, Hugh Jackman isn't just visiting Broadway, it's a fait accompli that one day he will conquer it.
You grow up thinking Broadway is this far-off place, it's the centre of theatre, and here I am about to see a show that I'm about to be the lead in down in Australia.
He's been likened to Gregory Peck, Mel Gibson, Tom Cruise. Whether riding a horse and looking rugged or playing the sophisticated lover, Hugh Jackman fits the bill.
Eddie, you're forgetting that I gave it to you. You remind me long ago, off the bus full of ignorant ambition.
And as the star of Sunset Boulevard, he has to shine. The $15 million musical rides on this new leading man.
Felt them suck all the marrow clean out of my bones.
It is like bungee jumping. It is. And that's why I love it. I love the thrill of it, but sometimes it scares the hell out of you, and you just want to back off, take the ropes off. Thank you very much, I'll come back and do it tomorrow, you know.
Internationally, Sunset the Musical has achieved much critical acclaim, reaping Tony Awards by the bucket load. This indeed is the big time. The show's international director, Trevor Nunn. Hugh is relatively inexperienced. How much of a consideration or a concern was that when you cast him as Joe Gillis?
I didn't know that he was relatively inexperienced. I mean, it wouldn't bother me one way or the other. I mean, you know, as they say, you either got it or you don't got it.
I use antlers in all of my decor.
Jackman's first big break was just last year when he played baddie Gaston in the Disney musical Beauty and the Beast. Although he wasn't the lead, critics agreed he stole the show without even trying. Arts critic Bryce Hallett.
You know, I know from people who worked with him in Perth, just in student review or drama, they said, oh my God, whatever a producer does, make sure he doesn't do a cameo because he'll try and steal the show. And you say, well, why does he do that? Oh, it's not his fault, he's just a natural show-off.
Let's go!
I remember Mum telling me a story about a year ago that when I was young, she said to me, Hugh, you do not have to stand up on a chair to be noticed. And I said, yes, I do. And I don't even remember it, but so maybe it was ingrained.
They say that you're a natural show-off, that when you're on stage, you just can't help but hog the limelight without even knowing you're doing it.
Do I? Oh, dear. That sounds terrible, doesn't it?
Macy's to the castle and bring back his head!
Up until Beauty and the Beast, Jackman was a little-known performer just out of acting school. He preferred the classics and serious theatre and had given little thought to musicals.
I thought my agent was on drugs when she said I was going to go for the audition, you know. And I madly went for singing lessons.
I'm especially good at expectorating tweets and points for Gaston.
If the agent was on drugs, then the production's heavyweight director, Richard Werrett, was on cloud nine. At last, a fresh new talent.
So I'm roughly on the side of a board.
He's a very sexy, charismatic, charming performer, but more to the point, I think he's got a depth in his talent. You don't become a big star without real talent. You don't get there just on good looks and sex appeal. I don't believe that ever.
Here's a picture of the family. We were on holiday then with Hugh and his sister Sonia and brothers Ian and Ralph. Hugh playing the violin.
Hugh's sense of artistic integrity was instilled in him by his father, Chris. He grew up in a family of 5 high-achieving children and was, quite simply, good at everything.
He's always been remarkably mature for his age and has always been able to keep his feet on the ground no matter sort of what the praise is. He's a remarkable young man from that point of view. There have been ups and downs in his life, not so much on the acting side, and he's always coped with those extremely well.
What lights are you going to win against? Obviously, Juliet is the son.
When Jackman landed the lead in a student production of Romeo and Juliet, it was his father who sat relentlessly through his son's performances.
She'll be not her maid, for she is envious.
I was sort of very emotional in the role, and the show was directed in such a way where the house lights were up the whole time so we could see the audience. We were encouraged to talk to the audience. And I looked up and I was on the verge of tears and I saw Dad. And Dad was crying, and it, even to this day, it gets me. And he was crying, and I really lost it.
After the show, I just sat there and contemplated and thought of his life and what had led to this position. And I was a very biased father at that stage, but it was a very proud moment.
What everyone is raving about is the it factor.
Here, come on, strain it.
That mysterious aura that separates the lead from the chorus.
What happened?
You did?
The it that attracted Sunset's director.
I mean, I've been working with Hugh for several days, and, you know, we're dealing with a level of detail and finesse that is way beyond any assessment of whether he's pulling the role off or not. He's brilliant.
There's no doubt that Jackman won't be tempted by career shortcuts. This is, after all, the man who knocked back Neighbours. Now, that could have been fame and fortune instantly.
I asked myself the question, OK, Hugh, if you do Neighbours and you finish in 12 months and you get the call from Sydney Theatre Company or Melbourne Theatre Company to come and audition for a Shakespeare or something, would you feel confident? And I thought, no, I wouldn't. And so what would 12 months on Neighbours give me to make me feel confident? And I couldn't come up with anything, so that was my decision.
I'll give you some ground rules. Plenty of conflict, but nice guys don't break the law. Girl meets boy.
Okay, if you're gonna do that, you've got nice guys. Make sure we hear. Here's the plot point. There's
Nice
plenty
guys
of conflict,
don't-
but nice guys, not nice guys. Nice guys.
It may come as a relief to know that Hugh does have bad
Sing the
days.
notes, but it's sung conversation.
Can we go back there?
Yeah.
It was about third week into rehearsals, and I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning with just what seemed this huge dark cloud over my head for no particular reason, and thought, I'm never going to be able to get out of bed, let alone pull off this role. You know, of course, by lunchtime, everything was fine, but if you don't let yourself go to that point, you can't come out the other side, you know.
Sunset Boulevard, twisting boulevard, secretive and rich, a little scary.
With just 11 days to go until curtain call, the producers and critics are keenly watching the ticket sales. The critics have really been very kind to you so far. What if, after opening night, they say, well, he's okay?
I'd like to think I'll be fairly philosophical about it, you know. Opening night isn't the end of the show either, you know, it's the beginning. If we haven't got it right by opening night, I can pack my bags and leave, or we can say, OK, we've got another year at least to work on this, and that's what we'll do, you know. Sound like brave words. I should play Henry V, I think, you know.
Sunset Boulevard, lethal boulevard, everyone's forgotten how they started. Here on Sunset Boulevard.